Today we're learning one of the biggest foundations that exist in all the universe, that is the only one successful, then all the one in all the creation is the only one successful, Yaakov Avinu, to educate his children. Yaakov Avinu was successful. Not only successful, Yaakov Avinu was successful, Chochmah, to make the kids Talmidei Chachamim. It's not only that Yaakov Avinu was able to raise his child, Yosef, to be the king of all Egypt. And that came, he didn't have to go to school. It came from the education of Yaakov Avinu. First thing is, I want to tell you the big foundation. Don't spit on the education of the Jewish people. Don't think that the Jewish people don't know how to educate. Yaakov Avinu knows how to educate, and we have the Am Yisrael, with the children of Yaakov Avinu, we have the education, we are successful in education. If Chazal tells us how to mechanic the children, this is the biggest success the rise from Yaakov Avinu produced for the children. And we have to know, don't be embarrassed for education of Yaakov Avinu. I cannot hear the people there. Cannot hear them. You think it's double portion. When Yosef saw, Paroi saw Yosef, he said he's the biggest, smartest in all the world. He gave his ring to him. He gave him clothes. He said no one in all Egypt cannot pick his hands without Yosef. What is it, Yosef? How is that? That comes from the education of Yaakov. So we have, the Torah is giving us the education of Yaakov. Sit down. See, you had the paper yesterday, the tape here. We have Hanukkah. We have holidays. We have the Torah Kedosha. The Torah Kedosha gives us right and left ways how to educate the children. Don't be embarrassed. Be proud. The piece here is be proud of the education of Yaakov Avinu. We come from that education. Be proud of that education. You don't have to look outside ways and you think you go to the Goyim and you go to Spain and you go to Colombia or you go to Arab countries, you go to America, and you have to look at how they educate. All these professors and all these psychologists and all these people. Don't be embarrassed and be proud that you're Jewish and you have the education of Yaakov Avinu. To show it was successful. That education is successful. Our education is the best education, and we are successful in our education. Today, the world doesn't want to talk about punishment, reward and punishment today. Chofetz Chaim says, the day where they stopped talking punishment and reward, it stopped education of Klal Yisrael. They don't want to talk about punishment, bad, good. And they want to be free. I do what I want. Be nice and good, warm. You look at today, that education failed. Look at America. Look at America today. The education is very bad. Look at Europe. Every place in the world. The education of the Goyim failed. Failed. You don't understand what I say? It failed. Even all you teach, it failed. It's not the way. And people think it looks nice. They say good morning. They say nice. They talk nice to you. And they think this guy takes out a book. And that takes out a book. And this guy takes. And they all the psychologists and all the people. But the bottom line is a loser education. And not a successful. Yaakov Avinu, his way is the best way, and that is the way that is successful. And we come for Yaakov. Don't be happy with the Torah way. Not only Chochmah, also in Hanoga. This is the chiddush of this piece. Yaakov, you take a child today, in all the world, take a child 13 years old. They're learning the Torah way. And you take a child in all the world, 13 years old. Who is more smarter? You see the religious person, Torah will be much smarter. Not only that, you take today in the computers today. People learned in yeshivas. The best computers guys in the world. After they learn on the spot, they learn it, they get smart. You take lawyers, the best lawyers in the world is Jewish people. Learn Gemara, they're the best lawyers. Psychologists, people learn Torah, the biggest psychologists. Everything you want to take. And every subject, doctors. If you learn Torah, then you go to the doctor, you see that the biggest doctor in the world is the Rambam. From all generations till today, the Rambam. You see clearly, you learn Torah, from the Torah you learn everything comes. They want to tell you this idea. Don't be embarrassed. Be proud of the education of the Jewish way. Be proud of it. Take it and work on that education. If the Torah tells you what to do, Chazal tells you what to do, listen to the Chazal. Listen what the Chazal tells you and do it. Because that way is successful. The way of the Torah is the way to be successful. And not the other ways. Other ways, maybe yes, maybe no, and I prove it didn't produce. You see today what's going on in the world today. Everyone that went not in the Torah way, after, like the Chaim Halevi says, after third generation, already it's finished. They go marry even goyim. Finished. So after it goes, you take every look at his own family. Family, brother, family, they don't go to Torah. After this, Suffolk even the marry, Kokoshin can marry, Suffolk can marry Jew and Goy. It's already a Suffolk already. Yeah, Torah way is the only, this is the successor's way. You hear me, Yaakov? This is the way. You hear me, David? This is the way. Now, if you know that if you know the value of what? Of Yaakov, the Yaakov Avinu gave over to his children, to Reuven, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Issachar, Zvulun, Dan, Naphtali, Asher, Yosef, Binyamin. He gave him the best education. So what is the education of Yaakov Avinu? After we learn in this piece that tells you the God, Mailes Achinuch of Yaakov Avinu, what is education? So this piece teaches you one thing. A lot of pieces. What this piece teaches you, don't say is me. The first thing that Yaakov, first thing what said Yosef, anything's from Hashem. That was the koach of Yosef. Shem Shamayim, what it says of Yosef, Shem Shamayim Shogu B'fim. Everything said Baruch Hashem, Ezrat Hashem. Everything is said in the head. Mirza Hashem. I'm going to do so. I'm going out to the store. Mirza Hashem, Ezrat Hashem, and with the help of Hashem, Siyata Dishmaya. Everything, everything you put Hashem in the picture. And he said, what? This is the Yosef is an example that everything what he said, Hashem. Everything from Hashem. That is the first thing. Second thing, even when he came to, he makes sure, don't think it came from himself. Because Paro saw that Yosef is very smart. Yosef is very genius, you know. He sees that it's big. So that Paro will not think that what? It came from his own, you know, I'm the smart person, it comes from me. When you learn to stay, people have a teva, after they get smart, they think it comes from themselves. But that's the first thing, what he did, Yosef said. Yeminach, what he said? And this is from Hashem. And says the Samuel in this piece, you have to mezarez yourself. You have to push yourself to what? To know everything. You have to say it comes from Hashem. Everything from Hashem. Don't even he brings frei from the chinuch. The chinuch and Agdama says, all my words are Torah, Roiv comes from the Rishonim. So Samuel Kelly says, why he says that? Don't think it comes from me. So I'll bring another example. Eliezer, Eved Avrom, when he came to Betuel, what is the first thing he says? I'm a slave. I'm a slave of what is the first thing? I'm a slave of Yaakov Avinu. Before even everything, nothing, I have nothing myself. Everything comes from Hashem, from my master. The same thing is, everything really comes from Hashem. When you train yourself, before you know you stop, you educate, you train yourself, everything is from Hashem. This is training yourself and knowing Hashem. That's the beginning. This piece, that gave them the secret to Yaakov, to Yosef. Shem Shammai said, Ad kedei kach they call Yosef Tzofnat Panea. Who knows what Tzofnat Panea mean? It means here, Targum Gavra de Matan Gayale. He has the secrets of life. The secrets of life. How do you know the secrets? Because he knows he's connected to Hashem. When you say I, me, you lose everything. You lose everything. You become like the Goyim. Me, I did this. I made this. You know what? I cleaned the house. It's me. It's my business. I was successful. It came from my idea. When you say that, you lose down. This is not the education of Yaakov Avinu. Education, it comes from Hashem, everything. You educate yourself in your mind, in your heart. In your heart. Not in your heart, you have to feel everything comes from Hashem. You cannot think and not do it, only comes in the hands of Hashem. When you train yourself that, your heart has to know, it's not me. It's not I did it, it comes from my idea. Hashem gives me the idea, and it comes from Hashem. That change, that education, you have to put into your heart. And no, that's exactly teacher precept. And you think to say, if I say it comes from Hashem, it means to look at me, I'm nobody. I'm a nobody. I say everything of Hashem, so what you did? Everything I Hashem, so what you did? No. It proves it from Yosef. He said it came everything of Hashem, and not only that, Paro gave him everything. He gave him even his ring. And not only that, he said, he called it Safar, he gave him clothes, he killed everything, all the secret he had, Yosef. Why? Because he connected, because he said everything comes from Hashem. It's opposite. When you educate yourself to know, you have everything comes from Eino Mivado, and you know everything comes from Hashem. When you educate that, and you know Hashem is running the world, and Hashem runs the world, not people, Hashem. And he's not dependent, no one, only HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You know, everything is Hashem. And Hashem gives the Chacham, and Hashem gives the Tvun, Hashem. When you train, that is the education, that teaching. This is one a teacher. What is education we're learning today? The negative is don't say, my strength did it. Don't put yourself, I did this, and me, and I. I raised this money, it's because of me, I'm the one that did it, because of me, but it happened to me, mine, and the I has to go out. And what you do, Hashem. Everything is for, without Hashem, it will be nothing. When you try to change that, the other Rabbi, Hashem gives you the bracha. And that is education of Yaakov Avinu. And this piece. And all the Chazal says that he gave Mussar, but this Chazal, according to this piece, we learned this week, according to this piece, This is the chiddush we learn. What is the chiddush we learn? Say, you have to, beginning, you start, you have to say everything from Hashem. Yeah, he says it. La'agdim. You have to magdim. You have to say everything from Hashem. You have to say everything from Hashem. You have to not to say, because you don't put yourself, and because you don't say that, you fall down. Because the moment is koichabat yodi, boom. Boom. Hashem, Toivas Hashem kol gvalev. Hashem looks at him. Hashem goes away from you. Shechina goes away from you. Everything goes away. So what did he train you? Train yourself. You go to the store. Your wife asks you to buy something. It's what you have to say. Without Hashem's help, nothing can help. And now everything with the help of Hashem. Put Hashem in the picture. She was used to say. Put Hashem in the picture. Bezrat Hashem, are able to go to the store, buy what I need. Bezrat Hashem, we say. Put Hashem in the picture in every part you can do. Emirtz Hashem, Bezrat Hashem. When you train yourself that way, that is the way to be successful. That gave Yosef to Ish Matzliach. Why? Hashem Ito. Says Rashi, Shem Shamayim Shogu B'fiv. According to the Mefarshim, he said broches, he was only with tefillah, everything. But according to this Chazal, even when he came to talk to him, he made sure, he says, Hashash pen yachshoiv paroi koichim votzim yodi v'lo natan koved leparoi kivi shenogel l'tvay Hashem. See how they say first thing everything goes to Hashem. Because you would think maybe Hashem won't get it right covered. Immediately give cover to Hashem. So our job is to give cover to Hashem. Now, when you say anything cover to Hashem means we're giving cover to Hashem. We're not, don't take the cover to me. Don't take it to yourself. For me, say, give cover to Hashem. Wow, it came everything from Hashem. You give cover to Hashem. This Hashem, now this is Hashem wants you to do that. And this was the education of Yaakov. Teaching to give cover to Hashem and not to tell on you and me. And this is this piece of Kodesh Chazal. It's other Chazal, but this is Kodesh Chazal. Hashem will help us to give cover to Hashem. And when you give cover to Hashem, not kol hakavod tzal. It means that this is mevaze Hashem. This is that song is a bizri Hashem. All the cars say only Hashem. And when you train yourself that, the gufa, you get all the, it comes from then you get the chokhmah from it. Everything comes from it. Ki Hashem eter chokhmah, everything comes from it. Hashem help us, that Hashem said the Shmaya, to give cover to Hashem completely. Skadei, Shmei, Rabbi,